Hey, Chili. Caveman. Yeah, that's why I'm playing. I'm playing the demo music. I don't know. Today's been hectic. I almost did not want to stream today, but this would probably be the last day before just no streams. I usually space these a day or so apart, every other day. That's what I'm trying to say. So I might not stream Monday, not Monday, yeah, Wednesday, because that's when moving's happening, and I gotta make so many phone calls, unpack, set up the internet. If I stream Wednesday, it's probably not going to be this. Hey, Sabic. This is one from their plushie promo, probably. Sounds familiar. What do I want to say? If I stream Wednesday, it'll probably be something easy. Something to de-stress to, like Bejeweled 3 or something. It'll probably just be a hangout stream. Play some chill music. Talk. I don't know. Otherwise, I'd probably push it off to Thursday or Friday. And then, what was it? Snoot Encore, like, revamped their demo, so I might play that one again. Apparently the recordings are better. And it's more snappier or more responsive. So, I'll probably play that. I did a lot of last minute packing too. I'm still not done, or at least to my standards. I've blocked myself off from being able to, like, get to other stuff, so I'm gonna have to explain myself when the movers come. I'm sure things will be fine if they give me lip, whatever. I don't have to see them ever again. But yeah, I got bags ready to put the last minute stuff into when the day arrives. I'm still gonna have to, like, hawk over them because what is it? The bed needs to be taken apart a special way, and if I catch them trying to unscrew something, I'm gonna knock some heads, because this bed needs no tools to move. I know this intro has been all trauma dumping, but it's not been a good winter for me, and I've been bottling it up so much. It's either this or the alternative, and you don't want to know the alternative. Maybe one day I won't have to trauma dump ever again. But until then, you're stuck with me. Got like half of a minute left, and then we'll switch gears. I didn't have the timer up, but I'm watching the video timer. Hey, Hoshin. The Winter Art Chronicles. It's funny because last winter was so easy. It was probably like the best winter post the tailbone shit from 2019. So I guess it was paid for in advance for this winter. They had to come twice as hard. So I'm hoping the winter after will be nice, if ever. I honestly don't want to experience another winter, but I'm yapping past the time, so I'm gonna get Wani settled here real quick. If I know what I'm doing. Switch the stream over. Sadly at work and no time to be lazy, boys, but I hope the stream's good today. Best wishes. Alright, Crescenario. We'll see you in the VOD. boot up faster. Alright, perfect. I noticed it skipped the intro. Alright, let me... This is quiet compared to the music. Maybe it isn't, I don't know. Anyways. Where did we leave off? I think it was this one. Yeah. I awakened disoriented from where I'm laying. Oh fuck, did I fall out of bed? No, I would have woken up if I had. Unless I hit my head hard enough to knock me out. One of those times I had tackled the floor into submission, and for once, the floor won. And then I hear movement in my own home. There's an intruder in my midst. With all that practice calm of one who has rehearsed this exact scenario 100 times over, I calmly rise to meet the challenger. My body and mind steeled for fierce life-or-death combat. Hey, Slurf. The wahoo? What the fuck? I zero in on my would-be attacker, who's only sitting on the edge of my bed, not even bothering to look at me. She's putting spoonfuls of my store-brand cereal into her toothy maw. Munch, munch. Hey, sleepyhead. I hope you don't mind, but I helped myself to your sugar-frosted soy flakes. There's only Olivia. Everything from the day before comes rushing back to me, along with the familiar trill of the alarms. There was a girl in my domicile making herself at home, and she couldn't even pretend like she was the least bit intimidated by my combat stance. Trying to remember the basics of CQC? Something like that. It's all a part of my morning routine, you see. Impressive. Does it include eating this slop? Breakfast of champions. You'll never get stronger in PE if you don't get some protein in the morning. I've been making good progress. I can do 20 push-ups without feeling like my arms are going to fall off now. Okay, but I guarantee you'll get stronger faster if you eat some eggs, bacon, and sausage for breakfast. How do you think I got so strong with my arms? Always skipping leg day? She snorts. Fuck you. Anyways, Damien says him and Liz will be over in a few hours to bring me my stuff. Then we can go to the store and buy you some real food. My treat. Thanks, but I still feel bad. You spending your allowance and all. She rolls her eyes. I'd rather spend my allowance on real food instead of eating cereal and dino nuggies all week. And I want to show you how to cook. You guys don't eat breakfast cereal? We buy some bland shit Damien likes to eat sometimes, but no, we don't eat stuff like this. Then he would devour the whole box and then be bouncing off the walls from the sugar rush. As good a reason as any. Okay, I'll try eggs and bacon in the morning, but not too much. I don't like to exercise on a full stomach. Sitting beside Olivia, I pour a second bowl and we eat together. She turns on the TV and finds a reality show featuring Jordan Gramsay, who's currently yelling at an incompetent line cook. I hope this isn't foreshadowing. She puts on her most British accent. It's fucking raw, ain't on? Or get the fuck out of my fucking kitchen. Are you making fun of me accent? Get the fuck out, you fucking Wonka. I'll have your head for what you did to those fucking scallops, right? Oh, fucking hell, where's the lobster? We continue to shovel sugary processed cereal into our mouths while doing our best Jordan Gramsay impressions and watching Kitchen Perdition. When the box and the jug of milk are depleted, we sit cross-legged on the floor and play some video games until Damien arrives. Rom Gramsay. Hey, Robert. I meet Damien outside after getting his text. Liz pulls up with Damien sitting shotgun, and I'm a little surprised to see Vinny in the back seat. Guess he really wanted to see Olivia. I suddenly feel sorry for him, like I stole her away. Yo, Anon, what's up? Just having fun hanging out with Olivia. How come Auntie Olivia doesn't want to come home? A surge of guilt tugs at my heart, and again I have that sensation like I'm stealing her. Well, I guess you can ask her why. She's inside. You got a license for that butter knife? Coolios for breakfast. The salmon, if fucking raw, annihilates a strip of salmon with the fist of 1,000 sun. Without waiting for permission, the junior-sized Damien brushes past me into my apartment. Hey, Dylan. Yeah, bring the child to the ghetto. Yeah, smart move, Damien. Vinny! It's all good. You're all my guests. Appreciate it, amigo. Liz pokes her head out from the sunroof of her car to greet me. Hi, Anon. Hey, Liz. We really appreciate you doing us this favor. Damien texted me about it, and I offered to help. That way you could all talk and get Olivia's things while someone watches their car. Because that's kind of a necessity around here. I was relieved when Liz offered. Skid Row always scared me, to be honest. I know, the crime rates around here are terrible. It's not exactly a credit to my kind. No, man, I was scared to come here because I thought Skid Row would be made of human skin. Like rows and rows of buildings made of human flesh. Anyways, I brought her beanbag and a duffel bag with clothes and her bathroom stuff, and I brought her school supplies and other things. Also, Guts' cage and stuff for him. Fantastic, I'll get her beanbag. This FPS is fucking raw. Grabs ATF badge. You need a license for that butter knife. I step back into my apartment, carrying the large beanbag. Then he has Olivia in a fierce hug like he wants to pick her up. Olivia, where's Guts? He's perched on my shoulder. Why? I'm about to set this down and I don't want to accidentally smother him. Oh, I'm glad you were thinking of him. Don't worry, he's with me and not on the floor. I set the beanbag down in the middle of the room, grateful to be relieved of that burden. Damien enters and the air becomes noticeably more tense. Hi, Damien. Hey, how are you feeling? Better, I guess. Damien, why do you hate Olivia? I don't hate her, little bro. Me and her are just having a little, Vinny, listen, Damien didn't do anything wrong. It's my fault. Well, how come you guys are fighting? And why do Mom and Dad and Damien want you to leave when you graduate? I heard Damien mumble to himself, and I wonder if that's how I sound to everyone else. Dang it, why did I have to go and say that? It's not that they want me to leave, it's just that I've been acting ungrateful to them. To all of you. It's not your fault, though. You didn't want for all that bad stuff to happen to you. No, I didn't, but that's no reason for me to take it out on you guys. You are? Your composure melts from admitting it out loud. I guess I am. I'm sad and angry, and I want to be angry at everyone, but I'm also angry at myself, and I guess I want someone to be angry at me too, because I deserve it. No, you don't. I really do, though. And he just stares back at her sorrowfully, unable to understand. Hell, even I didn't understand completely. This is about the art contest, isn't it? She gazes back, her face scrunched up in regret. It is. Even years later, it still hurts. I'll never forgive Ben what he did to me. Ben. Why did things always have to come back to that fucking guy? I don't know what they're talking about, but just knowing Ben is involved somehow makes sense. Those two were like chemicals that exploded on contact. That's not the art contest I was talking about. It almost didn't sound like Damien talking. His voice comes out an octave deeper. It's full of disappointment. It almost sounds like Randy. She stares back, dumbstruck. And her face becomes the same look of helpless desperation I recall seeing on our first day. But no, there's more to her expression than just desperation. It's shame. You knew? I've known for a while now. About a month after Inko went to the hospital. I was really missing him one day, so I went to look at the winning submission. And then something just clicked. I may be a dummy, but sometimes I pick up on things others don't. Just what was he talking? The realization shoots through my head like a bolt of lightning, and the look on her face confirms it. She looks away even more shamefaced than before. Snoop. No, this is Wani. Stop it. Stop making her feel bad. Vinny, they're not. Listen to me. She turns him back around to look at her. It's my fault. What's your fault? I did something I shouldn't have, and now I deeply regret it. Then just say you're sorry. I would if I could, but that won't fix what I've done. Is that why you're here then? Are you being punished? No, Vinny, I want to be here. I need this to clear my head. And let me stay with you. Vinny, no, you can't stay here. Just stop making her feel bad. Vinny, no one's making me feel bad but me. I'm doing it. But Damien knew something Damien knew something and he didn't talk to you about it. Mom and Dad always say you should talk things out, so why weren't you? You're right, little bro. Can you wait with Liz while we talk it out? Okay. The little Damien hugs Olivia one last time. Please come home soon. I will, on Saturday. He leaves us, groaning sullenly as he walks through the kitchen. I watch him go back to Liz's car. I'm relieved when I see him climb into the back seat. So why didn't you confront me about it? Weren't you mad? I wasn't even 100% sure until just now. I'm just more disappointed than anything. Snoot Wani. Like, I get why you did it. I just can't believe you would go to those lengths for an honest reaction. I wasn't thinking. All I knew was everything was changing because of him. I felt like I had no control. I always feel that way, especially since 9th grade. I get that, so why don't you ever talk to us about it? Why don't you ever talk to me about it? Silence falls between them, and I can't help but feel like a mere spectator. What should I do? Another choice. Stay quiet and let them handle it. Can't baby her. I keep silent. This is family business, and it's better if they work it out on their own. It's not like I'm a part of their family anyway. I don't know why I don't talk to you about it. Maybe it's because I feel like I don't deserve it. This isn't about what you think you deserve or don't deserve. I mean, what do you think we deserve? I think you deserve to have a relative that's better than me. You don't think of you like that. Family isn't about holding you up to a really high standards. It's supposed to be about unconditional love. And you are our family. We accept you. Why can't you accept that? Is it because you can't accept yourself? I suppose. I just feel like I'm not worth all the accommodations. That's not what Inko told you. He didn't try to make you feel guilty, and we don't want you to feel guilty either. I know, and that just makes me feel pressured. I know you guys try hard for me, to accept me and care for me, and that makes me feel like I'm obligated. It's not about obligation, it's about mutual love. We love you, Vinny loves you, and it hurts to see you hurt yourself. I know. Sometimes it feels like a vicious cycle I can't escape. You guys love me and it makes me feel bad because I feel like I don't deserve it. Then that makes you guys feel bad, and then I feel bad for that, and I get it. It is like a vicious cycle. But that's why you can't give up, or else it'll just get worse. Liv, I've been trying for years to support you and be there for you, but I don't do it because I expect some compensation. I do it because you're my sister. That's like you forget that sometimes. I know, I wish things were different. I wish I was different. And I wish I had $1 million, but I'm not going to let it bum me out. The two are silent as their back and forth gradually runs out of energy. Personally, I think Nazer is a better bro. Read too! Damien is the bro we need, even when he's against us, because he knows we can be better. We're just too passive. Look how he lets Trish steamroll Fang just to avoid conflicts. I'm really sorry I said that last night, but I don't blame you. If I was in your position, I'd probably done the same. And just remember that next time. You're not the only one with problems. I've got problems. Mom and Dad got problems. Even Vinny has problems. Everyone's doing their best. We got to work through this together. I know, I'll try harder next time. Do or do not, there is no try. You're as big as dork as Anon is sometimes. Listen, you take this week to clear your head, and I'll do the same. When you get back, we need to have a serious heart-to-heart talk. You're right, we do. It's been a long time coming. Thanks, Anon. No problem, man. With Olivia settled in my place, we take a stroll to the supermarket. Of the $300 in allowance, Olivia took $100 with her and left the rest at my place under Guts' cage, telling him to guard it. I felt nervous thinking of all the money left there. Though if someone did decide to break in, that already would have been bad enough. They could have stolen fucking everything, and that was a worry that always existed in the back of my mind every day at school. More pressing than that was walking around Skin Row with a crippled dinosaur girl with money on her. She moved with her usual confidence, but seemed unaware of the attention we were drawing from some people around us and across the street. You keep looking over your shoulder. Just nervous is all. I don't want anyone hassling us. And you really have to worry all the time anytime you walk around here. Afraid so. That's why I keep a switchblade on me at all times. How do you use it? Only as a warning. I turn this down on my side. That had been a tense occasion. I had practiced that scenario in my head before, though when it came time to brandish my knife, my throat was too dry to say the thing I thought would have sounded intimidating in that situation. I only held it up and they backed off. Should I be worried? It's not so bad this time of day, but it's still better to be prepared for the unexpected. I didn't think it was this bad for you. I mean, you aren't the only person in the world, bro. Everyone's fighting their own battles, bro. Yeah. Was she impressed that this was just an everyday thing for me? I straighten my back and puff out my chest. Yeah, I'm used to it by now. What a tough guy. I can't tell if she's being serious or facetious. Knowing her, it's probably the latter more than the former. You know, a sword would be a lot more intimidating than a knife. And where am I supposed to get a sword? I've seen some at those curio shops at the mall. Those decorative pieces of junk are made out of low-grade steel and aren't even sharp. Still, walking around with a sword would make quite a statement. Sure, the kind of statement that says, I'm a massive fucking dork who never gets laid. You're already a massive fucking dork who never gets laid. True. But fuck you regardless. Okay, well, what about a baseball bat? We can even get an aluminum one. That's actually not a bad idea. I'll consider it. Then you could get a pair of rollerblades and patrol Skin Row looking for people to bash in the head. I don't think I'm ready for a Shonen Bat cosplay. She giggles in approval of me having understood the reference. What would make me feel safest is if I had a gun and a concealed carry permit. I forget, can people under 21 even get one? I looked into, no, not in this state at least. That sucks. It does, but it's not like I could afford a gun anyways. I guess I could get pepper spray. Maybe when my dad comes home later this year, he could take us both to the gun range and he can at least show you how to handle a gun. That'd be neat. The idea of meeting your old man, the Air Force badass, scared me a little. I kept picturing a muscular baryonyx in peak physical condition from experiencing the G-forces of a fighter jet. Bet he wouldn't need to use a concealed gun. Not true, he always carries one. He'll be the first to tell you that pride isn't worth your life. If some crackhead brandishing a knife is coming at you, it's better to draw a gun and put him down. It makes me feel better about wanting a gun. Anti-gun retards online always insult your masculinity if you talk about wanting a firearm for protection. And I bet you could easily beat up those losers. Harsh language could beat up those losers. That's why they always have Jannies to patrol their boards. Olivia and I spent a good hour shopping at the supermarket. She took me through several aisles I didn't normally go through, picking out spices and seasonings, then we grabbed various different meats and vegetables. I asked what she was planning on cooking, and she told me that she had different recipes for stew in mind that even a cooking noob like me could do on my own. With the groceries paid for, we begin our walk back to my apartment. Olivia has 2 bags in her lap, and I hold the rest. Burdened with our groceries, I feel even more like a vulnerable target. Another retracted message. You guys live in California. You ain't getting a gun, that's true. It's a relief when we get back to my place. We store our haul in the fridge and cupboards. Then Olivia begins making us some afternoon lunch. Since I was light on cookware myself, she uses a crock pot she had asked Damien to bring, even telling me it was mine to keep. I write down her instructions step by step, occasionally asking her to repeat things. It feels like what Damien described to me in home ec. Olivia is a very patient teacher and gives me her instructions without a hint of the condensation I fear she might level at me. We'll review what you've learned here later tonight when you make us both dinner. Yes, Miss Halford. She smiles as she ladles our lunch into my cheap plastic bowls. Shut it, dork. Our lunch in hand, we open 2 cans of the better store brand soda I come across, then turn on the TV to watch some classic Grugsons. I blow a spoonful and taste it carefully, not sure what to expect. A sigh escapes me at the burst of flavor dancing on my tongue. My stomach grumbles for more as I realize just how hungry I suddenly was. It was as though my body had been crying for something more nutritious than just cold cereal and dino nuggies. About the only time I got a decent meal these days was at school. If I could cook even half as well as this, then I'd gladly make Olivia stew every day. So, how is it? Good. Great even. Hell, this is better than most soups I've had at restaurants. Do you even go to restaurants around here? No, I'm talking about when my parents would take me. There was this one diner we liked to go to sometimes. Their soups were alright, but this is easily better. Well, I mean, it's freshly made, and those places probably make a batch of that stuff and let it sit around until someone orders some. Honestly, I've forgotten how good a home-cooked meal can be sometimes. I'm serious, this is the best thing I've eaten in a while. So thanks. Do you cook often for the pains? Sometimes, though. Not lately, though. This is actually the first time I've cooked anything outside of home ec in a while. Sorry, I guess I shouldn't have asked. It's alright, I like cooking for us all sometimes, but after Idakin, well, let's just say all I've wanted to do at home is stay in my room watching anime. It's like I was, or am, self-medicating or something. I've just been trying to numb myself to the world. I get that. That's how I was when that shit at Rock Bottom High happened to me. I just wanted to isolate myself. I mean, more so than usual. And when I got here, it felt like staying in a motel room. Everything's unfamiliar and it feels kind of exciting being in a different place, like going on a road trip. Then the novelty quickly wore off, and then I had to start going back to school, and it just feels like a haunting specter leaning over my shoulder. That's exactly how I felt. Pretty sure a taser is better for most. A gun requires you don't flinch at all. I could tell she wants to get something off her chest, but is still struggling to get it out. Frankly, even I wasn't sure if it was a subject I wanted to touch. If she really had done what I think she'd done, then that was a massive disappointment. And it was a disappointment in more ways than one. For now, I'm only suspending my judgment, not wanting to think about it, let alone talk about it. This is really good stew. I just hope I can make it even half as good as this. If it's only half as good, then I'll just have to try harder to teach you with your handicap of low human attention span. I'm sorry, what were you saying? I wasn't paying attention because you're so boring. She lightly thumps the back of my back with her tail. I sputter into my bowl, trying not to get stew on my shirt, and she laughs. We continue to enjoy the rich, meaty stew with cream soda while watching watching a season 3 episode of The Grugsons and arguing about when the show started to get stale. Both of us agree that modern Grugsons is soulless slop of the highest order, but disagree about when it started to go to shit. I held that it was still decent up to season 10 with some notable season 11 episodes. Olivia's even more of a purist and think that season 3 through 6 were peak Grugsons. Hey Panda. Is Blaze still streaming? I thought you'd be in Blaze's stream. The rain has come back to beat a steady pattern on the window. With the occasional rumble of distant thunder, the patter of rain is accompanied by the sound of my shower. Olivia's bathing, and I'm struggling to recreate her afternoon culinary masterpiece with a third sound in my head, the alarms. Oh fuck, a girl is naked in my bathroom. She's in my shower with her clothes off. Oh no, there really was the bathtub scene, oh god. Of course. Oh wait, oh no. No. Oh, that's a jape. Nice. A taser's best during estrus season. You don't want to accidentally kill your dinosaur girlfriend. I'm no simp, son. Estrus protocol. I need to remember that. I smack myself, hoping to dispel that invasive image of naked Olivia. I smack myself again to go to a playlist on my phone that I'd gotten from her. Angry Again by Gigadeath starts blaring, and I bob my head to the music while mouthing the lyrics. That seems to do the trick, and I'm able to concentrate on craft. When did before I start this, didn't the demo end just before this from last time? Lol, that was Sabik's idea. I got it. Oh, no, I'm not reading that. Alright. That seems to do the trick, and I'm able to concentrate on crafting our dinner. It was actually funner than I thought it'd be. I was sorry I hadn't signed up for home ec after all, especially if it meant being in one more class with her. Stepping into the living room with 2 bowls in hand, I sit cross-legged on the floor and wait for Olivia to emerge. Blowing on a spoonful, I taste it carefully and, well, it wasn't quite as good as hers, but still better than how I feared it would turn out. The Dino Girl steps out of my bathroom, her hair still partially wet. Ah, that's better. I see you managed to make dinner without burning the building down. It even smells edible. It ended after this chapter, so we're still in this chapter, but I don't remember this part. A little bit after, I believe. Alright. She walks over on her knees and sits cross-legged next to me, her tail curling around her legs. So what's it like to be a war veteran who killed 50 men? Make that joke one more time and it'll be 51. Having gotten one good jab, I return my attention to the stew while trying to think of something else to talk about. So, I couldn't help but notice your bottle of shampoo looks awfully expensive. Really, Anon? That's it? That's the best you could come up with? Asking about fucking shampoo? It reminded me of that old cliche where you ask a girl out on a date and she says she's busy that night. Busy doing what? Washing her hair. It is. So expensive that Randy and Sophia won't even buy it for me. I have to pay for it myself out of my allowance I get from my dad. Pity men. There's more Yeah, I know. I know we got a lot more to go through. It's just I forgot where the last demo ended. I mean, I could look at the VODs and all that, but work with it, Anon. Not part of the complimentary amenities that come with the free room and board, huh? Exactly. I'm surprised you use a product like that considering how messy your hair is. Just because I don't normally style my hair doesn't mean I still don't care for it. Fair enough. The scent of her shampoo still clings to her, as well as the scent of a flowery-smelling deodorant. The combined scents from the girl sitting next to me causes my throat to go dry. My hands tremble as I bring more stew to my mouth. Is it any good? She tastes it carefully with a few audible smacks of her lips. You have done well, Einon-kun. I am pleased to hear that, Olivia-sensei. I endeavored to learn all the culinary arts from you. She dips her index finger into her bowl and lets Guts lap it off. He stands on his hind legs and clutches her finger to lick off the proffered meal. Does it meet the approval of Guts-sama? He says it's merely adequate. Jeez, tough critic. Yeah, I remember this part. Last time it ended after the smoking. Yeah, I remember that too. I was wondering when that scene would come up, unless, or if it got axed. And I was just jealous that Olivia actually has hair to use shampoo on. True. You better believe it. How do you think I got so good at art and cooking? Ah, so it was under Master Splinter's tutelage. She laughs heartily at that. That gives me an idea for some new comics starring Guts. She finishes her bowl with a lick of her lips. There's more in the pot if you want it. I've got all I need here. Thanks. She returns with a second bowl and gobbles it up enthusiastically. When finished, she leans back against my bed with a sigh while giving her belly a few hearty pats. It was a relief to know that she had enjoyed my stew that much. I finished my own bowl with a grunt of satisfaction. Well, not to toot my own horn, but that meal was so good I need to cap it off with an after-dinner cigarette. I didn't know you smoked. Yeah, it's not a habit I recommend, but it's one that I indulge in sometimes. I thought I smelled cigarettes when I first came here. Sometimes I smoke indoors, even though I shouldn't, but the last tenant did, so it already smelled musty in here before. Anyways, if you need me, I'll be right outside the door. I'm shielded from the rain by the walkway of the upper apartments. Lighting up a smoke, I lean up against the wall next to my door. I inhale deeply, the nicotine enhancing my satiety? I don't know. Of my dinner. I love butchering words, man. Teenage Mutant Ninja Skinnies. Olivia emerges and sits cross-legged in the doorway. Hey yourself. I sit down beside her, my butt parked on cold concrete, my back pressed against the brick. How do you get smokes anyway? There's a homeless guy who hangs around a convenience store not far from here. I slip him a 20 and he buys me a pack and keeps the rest. $20 for a pack of cigarettes? Fuck's sake. No wonder your ass is always broke. Never said it was a cheap habit, but at least the high price mitigates my consumption. How often do you smoke? About 4 or 5 cigarettes a week, so roughly one every other day, and PE has been forcing me to curb my habit. That's not so bad. So when did you start smoking? My sophomore year back in Rock Bottom, I had an older friend named Eddie who was a senior. He and I would hang out in the parking lots after school, just chit-chatting or whatever. I'd bum smokes off of him, and he didn't mind. He showed me cool tricks like befriending homeless people to get them to buy you things, or selling cans of soda to middle schoolers for extra cash. We'd buy 12 packs of soda they couldn't get in... We'd buy 12 packs of soda they couldn't get in their vending machines and sell them for $1 a piece. That was a quick way to turn an investment of $4 into 12. So 12 packs are like nearly $10 nowadays. Jesus. Have you seen the price of soda? The Dino Girl snickered. Are we sure you're not the one with some Rhino Rex in you? We both laugh. Maybe I do. But he was always the entrepreneurial type. He also turned me on to some cool anime I hadn't seen yet. Cool shit from before we were born. He said anime was better then. He and I did everything together. 500 cigarettes. You missed the not oh, haha. Haha. You missed the thing. I guess he was sort of like a big brother I never had. So what happened to him? What else? He graduated and left town to go to college. He wants to own his own business some days. Or someday. We still keep in touch on Snoopbook, messaging each other back and forth, but it's just not the same. Junior year really sucked without him. I guess online friendships aren't the same. No. Snoopbook is like friendship life support, I swear. It's like the facsimile of friendship at best, and a mindless diversion at worst. You'll post something, get frustrated when no one replies to it. Then when you ask why, you just get told you need to spend more time on it. In other words, turn social media into a second job. Exactly, and who wants to fucking do that? I swear, I built up better rapport with random people on random boards than on Snoopbook. Same. You know, there was a time, or so I've been told, when people could maintain lifelong friendships with no more than an address book sitting by the rotary dial phone on the phone table next to the couch. Maybe some nights you'd ring up your buddies to go to the bar or go bowling or something. My dad told me once that's how it used to be, before the internet. These days, though, everyone's glued to the internet. Soda. This was before inflation got really bad. I know, this is like, what, it's gonna be like a year old eventually. When was this made? Like in June? July? Yeah, get a drink. Yeah, it's a good thing I don't really drink soda anymore, and if I do, it's usually like store brand stuff that's still like $5. Alright, I'll have to watch the VOD. Have a good one, Pork. Alright, see you later, Slurf. And I know that's rich coming from me, the shitposter extraordinaire, but when I think about how much life must have been back then, it makes me envious. I take a long drag and exhale in frustration. You have a way with words. What do you mean? I mean, the way you described it just now, I could really see the phone on the table. I'm just thinking out loud, though. And you still manage to sound more coherent than most people. It's just that when you talked about that just now, it reminded me of my grandma. She still keeps an address book by her phone. That's not a rotary dial, but it's a landline. She's very old-fashioned like that. Probably for the best. Fucking smartphones are all low-key just spying on us anyway. Yet another reason to envy the boomers. I envy her. She had a family that she could cook for and take care of. Is that why you take home economics? She stares up in surprise as though a revelation had hit her. I take it so I can learn to take care of myself one day, because the Pains can't take care of me forever. And it's clear now that they don't want to, and I wouldn't want them to either. Who wants to be a leech? I wouldn't take what Damien said too seriously. Parents always say shit like that, and that they'll kick you out when you turn 18. Randy and Sophia never did, though. I had to hear it from Damien. Shit, that guy really was a blabbermouth. A bro, maybe, but a dumb blabbermouth. You know what? It's time for another drink. I drink tea. I do have Arizona. That's like 500. That's like $5 a 12-pack. Did you say inflation? Oh, okay, Victor. You need to be quiet. It'll be fine. Things will be different next week. I hope so. I take another long drag. Do you want a family someday? My dad wants me to. He hopes I can make a family work someday like he couldn't. I'm curious about her mother, but I am afraid to ask. It sounded like her parents were divorced or something. And hearing you describe it just now, it made me realize I would really like to have that. I was just talking about socializing, though. Yeah, but I could see that in my head. The house in the suburbs with the traditional family unit. Maybe that could make a good subject for a painting. She sighs wistfully. Maybe someday. I nod and finish off the rest of the cigarette, flicking the butt away. What about you? Do you want a family someday? I shake my head and look down. Right now, I'm too focused on myself to even consider something like that. That scene I described earlier, back then, a guy could have a mundane as fuck job like VCR repairman and still be able to afford a split level in the suburbs with a wife and kids and 2 cars. Now you can't even touch that kind of reality without making close to 6 figures. It's gotten harder than ever for our generation. And at the beginning of the year, I could not wait to graduate and get out of that zoo of a school. And yet, here I am, only 1 month in, and now I find myself afraid of adulthood, and I'm not sure why. You're going into the crystal. I brewed the tea myself. Don't put sugar in it. Yeah, I got a bunch of tea bags that have just been collecting dust. They're probably not good anymore. I seldom, get the pot boiling. Imagine Olivia carrying a load of baby gators in her mouth. So then go to college, get a degree. It's still possible to have that kind of life, I think. Sure, it's possible, but also harder. And what if I end up drowning in student loan debt while working at Roarbucks? What? Are you planning on majoring in gender studies? No, I was thinking in STEM, maybe chemistry. I seem to have a knack for it. Then just do that and you'll be fine. Still, what if it doesn't work out? What if for whatever reason I can't find a job and then end up with a boatload of debt while driving a forklift, which I could have done in the first place? It's all that DEI! They're hiring dinos over me. No, I'm afraid it's the army for me. At least after I've done my time, I can go to college on the GI Bill. Maybe then I can think of having a family. I didn't think you were stressing that much about your future. I cupped my head in my hands. Look, Olivia, I know you said you'd trade your condition for my problems. That doesn't make my problems seem any less overwhelming. I get it, it's hard for everyone. The rain continues to fall beyond the shelter of the walkway above. We sit and listen to the sounds of traffic hissing by like waves on a beach. Clutching my package of smokes, I pull out another cigarette. What the hell, may as well. Can I try one? My mouth breaks into a grin. Are you sure? Yeah, what the hell? I move to hand her a smoke. My hand stops midway as I instead bring a cigarette to my mouth, light it up, then take it from my mouth and offer it to her with a trembling hand. The indirect kiss. Just easier this way. Delicate green-scaled fingers grasp the cigarette. They're also trembling. Olivia takes a short, experimental puff, and then coughs. I can't help but laugh. Fuck is so funny? I just realized your voice is already raspy enough without you smoking. That's probably true. She deepens her voice. Do you think I'd sound like this if I smoked 2 packs a day? I burst out laughing at her impression. It just reminded me of this creepy old lady I knew who smoked a lot. Her house stank like cigarettes and cat litter. She used to bake cookies that tasted like cigarettes. Ending 2, Olivia. Gross. I can't say I've ever had cigarette-flavored cookies. That'll probably be me someday. That'll probably be me someday. No, it won't. Just don't turn that into a habit. She slowly gets the hang of smoking by taking short, controlled puffs. I light up another with my cheap lighter and we toke up together, watching the smoke curl around us. Did she have any other friends than just Eddie? No, I had people I thought were my friends, but they turned on me on that day. Huh, figures. I was already used to some assholes talking about me behind my back, but that? It's like the world came to an end. Even if I wasn't entirely happy before, I was at least getting by to the point I could take it one day at a time, with bad days balanced out by good days. But then it was like every bad day all at once with no hope for any more good days. It was like being shoved outside during a blizzard, but they won't let you back in. And that cold feeling like icy fingers gripping your brain when you feel self-conscious was now all over and making it hard to breathe. And all you want to do is run and hide, disappear and pretend like it never happened. That's why I've been reluctant to make friends with anybody at St. Hammond. I haven't made any friends the entire time I've been at St. Hammond. Oh wait, that's Olivia. I haven't made any friends the entire time I've been at St. Hammond. Granted, I thought I was introverted. I'd clear my throat, afraid that I'm asking a stupid question. Why not? Same reason as you. They're not real friends. Oh. I've always had people trying to befriend me just because they wanted to be friends with that girl in the wheelchair. When I was in elementary school, other kids were either overly friendly or put off by me. There was no in between. I used to like that overly friendly types because that was better than not having any friends at all. But as I got older, I realized how insincere they were, or even just patronizing. If they weren't letting me win whatever games we were playing out of pity, then they were just using me for bragging rights. Once some kid even made a big show of standing up for me against a bully, but then I could tell he was just doing it to feel morally superior. It wasn't even like he pitied me or was being overly protective. He just saw me as a way to look good in front of everybody. Alright, let's check out chat. If you apply for a job killing things using a big curved claw on your big toe, don't be surprised when they hire a velociraptor over a human. What do you mean I can't grow a long toenail and sharpen it to be able to kill things? Randy or her dad finds out you got her to smoke, you're dead. Gling to see the Dark Souls you died pop up IRL. A lot of people were like that, and the more I noticed what they were doing, the more I just started cutting everybody off, one by one. Some got really nasty about it, acting like I thought I was high and mighty and too good for them. I mean, maybe that part was at least somewhat true, but who fucking cares? Their overreactions only proved my point. What about Liz? What about her? Aren't you guys sort of friends? Sort of friends is all we've ever been. Damien's the only thing keeping us more than just acquaintances. But really, I almost can't stand Liz with how much of a prissy little overachiever she is. And she's always got to be so ladylike with how she never ever swears, and always so polite. It's like she stepped out of a time capsule from another decade. I noticed that. She'll probably make Damien dress nicer so he looks more presentable for when they go to the malt shop for their dates. She chuckles at my joke. Probably. Would you believe me if I told you I used to be friends with Ben? I would. I would actually explain a lot. I always sense some sort of betrayal there. She brings her cigarette up for a deep inhale and coughs. When she speaks, I can't tell if the crack in her voice is from the coughing or from emotion. Betrayal doesn't even come close to describing what he did to me. This is it. This is what she's been struggling to talk about. This was ground zero for all of her problems at St. Hammond, the initial ripple that had become the wave currently sweeping me up. What did he do? She gazes at me, eyes full of torment and despair. As she hangs her head, a sigh escaping her chest. Ben and me have known each other since before St. Hammond. We were in middle school together, and I remember he wasn't like the other kids. He isn't like the other boys. He's mentally ill. Everybody else was all hyper-emotional and all, either acting tough or whining about their feelings, but Ben was different. He had this calm, sort of detached personality. Other kids thought he was creepy. I thought he was cool just because he seemed way more mature for his age. I liked him, not like, but I thought he was cool. And he didn't treat me like I was special or whatever. He was just normal around me. We ended up hanging out and doing stuff together. Then we started going to St. Hammond back then. He was like a secretary in the student council. He was always an ambitious overachiever like Liz, but still laid back enough that I liked him. Her face softens as though recalling something pleasant. And I was in Idekins class learning everything I now know from him. I remember having a bit of a crush on him back then. He was just so cool and suave. He was the coolest, most interesting person I've ever met. And I was proud to be a student. That's why I worked so hard on Dreamscape for the art contest. She says the name mockingly. And it shows. It's really, really good. I just realized this isn't reality where the Dreamscapes wasn't destroyed. I gotta take another drink. Alright, you're not trying hard enough. So Olivia, what did you do? Wait, what did you do with Anon today? Anon, let me try it. One car drive later. Randy, that's not what you think. You let me try a cigarette. He's still dead. Death by propane and propane accessories. And it shows it's really, really good. I was blown away when I saw it on my second day. I could see why it won the art contest. She grumbled angrily. Who fucking cares? It's so hard to imagine what could have put her off to her own painting that much. So what happened to make you hate it? I'm getting to that. She takes an angry puff of her cigarette and has a coughing fit. Fuck you for letting me try this. I rub her back until the coughing subsides. Thanks and sorry. It's all good. Let's go back inside. Finishing my cigarette, I stand up on stiff joints. The feeling returning to my ass. I snuff both cigarettes underneath my heel. Back inside, I grab 2 more cans of cream soda and we sit on the floor again. I sit across from her, handing her the cold cylinder. She takes it gratefully, opening it with a resounding hiss and then drinks thirstily. Thank you, I don't think I'm gonna smoke again. For the best, then. She gazes down into her can with a sigh. So anyways, I had painted Dreamscapes and it won the art contest. So yeah, it ended right after the smoking thing, right? Or was this part of the last chapter? Wow, Den, you're mature for your age. Oh, Ben, you're mature for your age. Oh, that's just my autism. No, he has like that sociopathic thing. Psychopathic thing, I don't know. So anyways, I had painted Dreamscapes and it won the art contest. It was even on the front cover of Volcadera Monthly. I had these accolades and even a cash prize handed to me. But they were meaningless. Why? Before the results were announced, everyone had been coming up to me to tell me how good they thought it was. It was the first time in a while that it felt like receiving real praise. I had this feeling of elation, like I could stand side by side with people like Liz and Ben for once. Like my future was set, and that I knew I was going to do with my life, and everything was going to be okay. It ended after they went to bed. Okay, thank you. Yet, it felt like being somebody. I have a message. Hold on. And Damien showed me the school newsletter. I kind of wish he hadn't, but I'm also glad he did. She doesn't sound glad. She sounds bitter and resentful. There was a section about the art contest. The art contest written by Ben. Fucking Ben. Part of it was boilerplate stuff about the contest, but at least half of it was dedicated to me. Oh, I think I know where this is going. Do you? Do you want to take a guess what he said? I answer hesitantly, as though a gun was held to me. Why'd I open my dumb mouth? I'm guessing it was some patronizing crap about what a great job the special needs student did on painting. Exactly. That's exactly what he fucking wrote. Ben, who I thought was my friend, who I thought actually respected me, who I thought saw past my fucking condition. She sputters in her fury, her next words coming out in a jumbled up mess as she gesticulates erratically with her free hand. Her shoulders slump and she gazes back down into her can. But why did he do that? I thought about that for years. Little Gator Ben. Yeah, but the entire Snook community just acts like he has autism because it's funnier than saying he has a sociopath. But he is a sociopath. She raises her can and downs the rest of the beverage, setting it aside. She looks down into her hands, open as though silently pleading. It's like he changed suddenly. Even started doing the same exact shit as those other kids, where they would brag about being my friend just for social clout. I don't know if he was playing the long game and waiting for a moment to do just that or what. I just don't know. One moment he's my friend, treating me like an equal. The next, he's just another asshole, treating me like some sort of prop. He advertised himself as my friend. Then his friends started doing the same. The weird little creep from middle school, a fellow outcast like me, was suddenly one of the popular ones, and I was just some stepping stone from him. That's all I was. Know how I know that? How? Because he admitted it. He fucking admitted to using me that way. I don't know whether to respect him for his honesty there or be horrified by it. But worse is... God damn it. But worse than that is how he reacted to me when I confronted him about it. I was furious, but he just looked at me like I was crazy. He said, "This was for both our mutual benefit." I screamed at him that I never asked for this. I never wanted to succeed off of pity or from taking advantage from my condition. And then he said to me, "This is your only chance of succeeding." I'm stunned into silence. What Ben did to her was worse than betrayal, because he hadn't exactly betrayed anything. He just saw her as something to be exploited and used up, and told it was for her own good. No wonder she hated him. You don't know for certain that you won only because of his article about you. I did, though, in a landslide. How many people actually read the frickin' newsletter, though? Hell, I don't. She sighs in frustration. Listen, Anon, I appreciate the sentiment, but the fact is that even if a few people genuinely liked it, a few were swayed only because of Ben's dumb article. And what if they weren't? Just drop it already. Damien already tried to argue this with me once before. Besides, there was another student who entered the art contest and his work was on par with mine, but he told me himself that I only won because I got my friend to pull the strings for me. Oh, fuck him then. Maybe he just sucked. You're missing the point. Even if I could have won without Ben's fucking article, the fact it was written at all and swayed even a few people invalidates my victory. I didn't deserve to win. I could see I wasn't going to be able to argue with her on this. It wasn't just that Ben had robbed her of her trust and her dignity. It was that she felt guilty for winning. I'm sorry for snapping. I know what you're trying to say, and I really do appreciate it. But even if Ben hadn't written that article, there's also the very real chance people would have voted for Dreamscapes out anyway out of pity. It's time for water. No, little Gator Ben is just a autistic ego that tells him to do. Got a jet. I need to fix my sleep schedule for once. Have fun, snooters. Yeah, I need to fix mine too. I'm tired of going to bed at like 8 and then waking up at like 2 or 4. It's infuriating. It's driving me insane. American. Right. Are you British? So I just want to know so I could tell why you drink fish food. Alright. I sigh in exasperation. You don't know that. You're right, I don't, because I don't know anything for sure, and that's what I hate the most. It's like being in limbo. I'm not allowed to succeed or fail on my own. I'm not allowed to have any will or say in the matter. All I can do is accept people's pity and accommodations. I slumped my shoulders in defeat. I wanted so much to be able to help her or cheer her up in some way, and I couldn't think of anything to do or say. I'm sorry. I know, and I appreciate it. It's nice to at least talk about it with someone who gets it. Do you feel better getting it off your chest at least? I guess. At least now you know how I became such a lonely, miserable nihilist. I scoff at her declaration. You're not a nihilist. Are you really going to tell me what I am and am not? I don't know if I can tell you what you are, but I can tell you what you are not, and you're definitely not a nihilist. How do you know? Well, for starters, you need a trench coat, a trilby, and a katana to be a proper nihilist. She chuckles. Okay, fair point. So if I'm not a nihilist, then what am I? You're a misanthrope. She rolls her eyes. Okay, dork. You don't need to always show off your high verbal IQ. I have to feel smarter than you some way, because if you're going to be because if we're going by artistic skill alone, then I'm a drooling retard compared to you. She chuckles again. Artistic skill aside, you're definitely smarter than me. Feels weird accepting a compliment from you. I feel like you should at least be teasing me or making fun of me. Who said it was a compliment, Poindexter? There, that's more like it. I still feel like a nihilist. Nihilists don't paint the beautiful things you create or make funny comics about their pet rat. Or feel crushing guilt for using their friend. What is it? Oh shit, did I mumble again? No, you're not mumbling, it's just that look on your face. Listen, I'm tired and I don't want to talk about this anymore. That's cool. Do you want to play more video games or watch TV? You can play video games if you want. I'll just watch. Alvia crawls into her beanbag and lies on her back. She watches me play some hack-and-slash RPG on my original Xbox while I sit on the floor next to her. Neither of us are saying anything. I glance at her occasionally, but she's only staring blankly at the TV. She's zoned out. And after getting all of that off her chest and being emotionally spent, I don't blame her. Volume's turned down just low enough to be barely audible. Rain continues to drum gently on the windows while my thumbs mash buttons and I lose myself to the mindless grind of gaining XPs. Bloody stupid. Oh, we're having fun in the chat. Ben did it all just to get that parapussy. Can we blame him? I look over at Guts' cage. He's asleep, curled up, whiskers twitching from whatever it is that rat's dream. And Olivia, too, is now asleep in her beanbag. The Dino Girl's eyes are closed and she's snoring gently. Standing slowly, I turn off the Xbox, not even caring that I haven't saved my progress. I brush my teeth, use the toilet, and then turn off the lights. I cover Olivia with a blanket, then stare down at her in the dark, worrying over the troubled look on her face, visible in the scant light from the window. My own bed feels more welcoming after a night sleeping on the floor, yet still my mind races with images of the stories she told me. After all that Ben had done, he had somehow gotten it into his head to ask her to the winter formal, only to do that to her. But more unbelievable was that she had agreed to go with him. For once, I'm the one to hear myself mumble my thoughts out loud. It should have been Inko she went with. All I knew of this guy was that he was a rich kid who wore designer shades and a designer jacket, had a desire to be popular, and seemed to have no other interests outside of photography and ostensibly painting. I could tell Olivia wanted to talk about him and last year's art contest. It had to have been eating away at her, but I wasn't going to force her to talk about it. Not anymore. I would have wanted someone to force me to talk about rock bottom. All I could do was wait, and she would tell me in time. For her sake, I hoped. That's where it would have ended, huh? The last demo. Sounds from the kitchen gently wake me from slumber. It was a lot more pleasant than being awakened by an alarm. Alarm? Oh, fuck! I realized I forgot to set my damn alarm. Olivia and I were going to be late for school. Fumbling for my phone, I checked the time and breathed a sigh of relief. It was just 10 minutes before I usually set my alarm. Thank fuck. We weren't going to be late, and Randy wasn't going to melt my face off. Rising groggily from bed, feeling rested, but not quite rested enough, I looked into the kitchen to see Olivia putting eggs and bacon onto a plate. Morning, sleepyhead. We got time for breakfast. Original Xbox hack and slash. Is that Samurai Warriors? Bends into CBT and gaslighting. You're talking about cognitive behavior theory, right? Or therapy? Cognitive behavior therapy? Your training is coming along well. No. Great. Smells good, too. Better than cold processed cereal, right? Hell yeah. You enjoy a breakfast of eggs, bacon, and sausage and toast together. When I stop eating after one fried egg and 2 strips of bacon, Olivia eagerly eats the rest. I would have had more, but I still worry about doing PE on a full stomach. Sure you don't want just one sausage link at least? Sure, why not? Before I can spear the remaining sausage with my fork, Olivia grabs it and chomps it greedily. She grins. Too bad, Gym Rat. Why must you be so cruel? Backpacks laden with school supplies, we make our way from Skid Row. It was nice having someone to accompany me to school, especially Olivia. And was she just my companion, or was she more than that? It sure felt like more. I want to ask her if she considers us boyfriend and girlfriend, but I feel like a dork for even thinking of asking it. And for that matter, just thinking of her as my girlfriend is making the alarms shrill. Hey, you alright, lover boy? Why do you keep calling me that? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want me to stop? What? No, it's not that. It's just, I'm not bothered by it, really. I'm just wondering why. Because it makes you nervous, and it's funny to see you get all hot and bothered like that. Paraplegic gator waifu cooks you breakfast while you worry about her stepdad melting your face off with acid ASMR. That's the only reason why? Yep, teasing you is fun. I can stop if you want. Makes no difference to me either way. I only started calling you that. Calling you that because Lunar and Kiara were pissing me off. Sure, but I didn't do anything. The absolute last thing I wanted was attention from girls. I mean, fucking hell, why do you always, what, do you always to fit both feet in your mouth? But, that was just my first day and I was nervous as hell. Things change. Yeah, they do. I can stop if you want. That's the second time she said that. Not that I'm annoyed, I'm just wondering how I should respond. Oh boy. Oh boy, do we alter the timeline even more? Wait a minute, hold on. Was my controller vibrating to Wani too? That shit's just nuts. I want to know what's happening. You can stop if it makes you nervous. Actually, it's kind of grown on me. Really? Yeah, you can keep calling me that if you want. Okay. Or are you going to stop now that I told you I liked it? I swear the alarms are in her head now. Try to steal food out of Olivia's mouth and lose fingers. Mondays were the most intense day for PE, and considering Coach Solly always puts us through something intense, that was really saying something. I step out of the locker room already dreading what he has in store for us. Cue ball! Correction, what he has in store for me. I have a special assignment for you, son. Yes, Coach Solly. He holds out a bucket. You are my bucket man today. You will take this and gather up everyone's cards. Cards? Yes, pay attention. He points to a small card table next to the locker room entrance. There's a sign instructing students to take a small white card from the pile and write down any exercise they can think of. Now hop to it, son. Thrust the bucket into my arms. Yes, Coach. Bucket in hand, I collect the cards from my dinosaur peers. Once all the cards have been disposited, minus Damien, who was late exiting the locker room, probably from getting his frills caught in his locker again, I huddle up with the class around Solly. As awkward as I felt carrying the metal mop bucket around, I was grateful he had given me the title of Bucket Man when Bucket Boy with its alterations was the more obvious and likely choice. Hopefully that was a good sign. It probably wasn't. Coach Solly takes the bucket from me. Alright, maggots, listen up. He holds up the metal receptacle for all to see. This is a bucket. Dear God. There's more. No. It contains an exercise written down from everyone here. Cue ball, did you collect everyone's cards? Oh, you bet. Excellent. I will now pull cards from the bucket. Whatever exercise is written down is what you all have to do for 10 to 20 repetitions, whichever I decide. He reaches into the bucket. The first card is a doodle of me getting hit by a car. What the fuck? Did someone have a death wish? I have something radiating off me which could be stink lines. Maybe that's why the car hit me, because I smell bad. Oh fuck. Sally flicks the card away and withdraws another. Here's me conjugulating with a dodgeball. Takes another card. Dodgeball conjugulating with me. And another. Both of us relaxing on coitus. Post-coitus? Coitus? What? I'm crying and the dodgeball has stink line. Did anybody put an exercise into the bucket? Heavy silence falls over the gymnasium. Fantastic. This was a huge disappointment. Very well. You now leave me no choice but to... Yo, Solly, wait. I've got to give in on my card. Excellent. What's it say? Push-ups. Very well. For the rest of the period, you will all do nothing but push-ups. Oh, fuck. Hit the floor, all of you. With practiced quickness, everyone falls into a formation and we start doing push-ups. Where the fuck was that discipline when Solly told them to write exercises on the card? The disgruntled drill sergeant then walks through the rows of students moving up and down like pistons. Oh god, chat's going. Classic scout. You, correct your posture. No letting your guts sag. Probably we at least started with some warm-up exercises, but now I have to fight the stiffness in my muscles. No more than 1 minute of resting between sets. Shit, there was no way I could keep this up. I've already done more push-ups in the past 10 minutes than any other point in PE. It sure might have been nice to have done something else. I soldier on as best as I can, trying to imagine Olivia watching me and feeling a bump into my enthusiasm. I wanted her to be impressed by me. I wanted someday to have arms stronger than hers. But then... someone's trying to invite me. I'm tired of weird friend requests just popping up out of nowhere. Anyways. But then shit, my arms have given out. Try as I might to do just one more push-ups, my arms refuse to obey. Cue ball! Quick slacking off! I tried desperately to do just one more and slumped to the floor. Face palms. Don't tell me your arms have given out. Yes, coach. Fine, then on your back and start doing leg raises. Oh, thank Raptor Jesus. I flip onto my back like a slug and put my palms to the floor under my ass. Doing leg raises wasn't so bad after that hell. Although it's only a matter of time before my abdomen begins to protest like my arms before. It's still a more manageable exercise though. For long, even Damien's arms has given out on him, and he has to flip onto his back as well. That's the first time I've ever seen a pink jock struggle with push-ups. One by one, more students lose their strength for push-ups. The pterosaurs, predictably, are the first to lose stamina, since doing push-ups with wings may as well have been like doing them with a weighted vest. Yet I, the lone human, was the first to not be able to do more. Fuck my life. What a lousy way to start Monday. Sally only chuckles mirthfully. And it's over. And on will land those RE5 Chris boulder punching Roydfield to rival Olivia's as I butcher that whole sentence. It's time for more water. Oof. Damien and I stumble out of the gym. After all that, even the effort of merely turning the knobs on the shower walls had felt too hard. My arms haven't hurt this much since the first day. I know, man. Look at my triceps. They've turned to jelly. You were doing diamond push-ups. Sally said the best way to grow push-up strength is through variation. Damn, I should have done wide grip push-ups then. Those are a little easier. I'm sorry, man. Sorry for what? If it wasn't for you, Sally would have had us do God only knows what. Yeah, but I could have written down a different exercise. Like what? Like sit-ups? No way, he would have had us do sit-ups till we shit ourselves. Squats? Fuck no, everyone hates leg day for a reason. At least we can still walk. And I guess I'm glad I wrote push-ups. Yeah, at least now I know I can do a lot more than when I started at the beginning of the year. Hell yeah, man. So how did yesterday go after we left? Pretty well, I guess. Olivia and I went to the store and then we both took turns cooking. Nice! Did you do anything fun? We watched TV, played video games, and then we talked a lot. Actually, I can't remember the last time I talked to anyone as much as I've been talking to her. I know, right? You guys make a good couple. A couple? Yes, a couple. Are we, though? I mean, it sure seems like you guys are. Neither of us had said anything about us being a couple, though. Neither did me and Liz. It just sort of happened. Is that how it usually happens? Sometimes, yeah. Have you never had a girlfriend before? I hang my head in shame. No, I haven't. Hey, don't worry, man. I'm not judging. In fact, Liz told me once that society puts so much importance on having a girlfriend or boyfriend these days that some people grow to hate the pressure and don't even try. Story of my life. And just be glad you found her. Yeah, but now I'm worried. What if I fuck it up? Now, how could you do that? Are you kidding? I'm kind of a fuck up in case you didn't notice. You got Olivia to like you, and she trusts you enough to want to be your live-in girlfriend. Oh god, oh god, oh god. I'm gonna fuck it up, I'm gonna fuck it up. Anon, calm down. How the fuck did I even end up with a girlfriend, let alone a dino, and now she's at my place sleeping in the same room as me? There's no way I can keep this up. She's gonna hate me, I know it. It's just like on the first day. Anon, chill. Daniel's looking at the ceiling in exasperation. You gotta relax, man. You were mumbling like crazy. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. There's like a bunch of pent-up stress just looking for a release. Well, calm down, man. You don't want your girlfriend to see you as a nervous wreck, do ya? Anon, you need more muscles so you can lift up your gator, waifu. Sorry, twin brother, but she's my gator GF now, not yours. Oh, I know what's going to happen. Inko's going to wake up and see Anon and Olivia kissing or something, and boom, shit hits the fan. Yeah, that could be something. Let me scroll chat real quick. Okay, we're good. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh... Anon! Sorry, I'm just over my head here. Look, you're doing fine, alright? Just keep doing what you've been doing. But all I've been doing is just being her friend and talking about stuff we like. Exactly. Now just keep doing that and stop overthinking it. Stop overthinking, huh? Yeah, just be more like me. You mean don't think at all? Exactly. I chuckle at his expense. Well, anyway, man, just be more like that. Confident. Alright then, thanks for the advice. Be confident, huh? Easier said than done. I wasn't exactly the picture of confidence, and that was practically the entire reason I wound up at St. Hammond in the first place. Even just standing before the door to AP Art felt like standing on the edge of a precipice. It had never bothered me that much before, especially as I grew to see Olivia more as a friend and looked forward to talking to her. Not only felt dread, and I couldn't explain why, she simply felt more real than everyone else, and entering into her immediate awareness made me feel more real. It was as though her merely acknowledging my presence was like a gift, and being denied her smiles some cruel punishment. Raptor Jesus, is this what a crush feels like? I guess I never had one. I thought I had crushes in the past, but now that I think about it, I think those instances were only finding a girl attractive and nothing more. This felt like having a panic attack, but one that kind of felt good, but also nerve-wracking. No wonder it's called having a crush. Victor, stop spamming. Yeah, stop spamming. It's cool. I met this cool tarot girl. That'd be funny. Anna needs to rub her belly and make her purr. Oh. If not if Fang gets to Inko first, okay? That's what it feels like. Where's the groomy teacher? She's already sitting there. I'm aware of every inch of her. Her tail curled up in an elegant kind of S shape, that soft purple hoodie that kept her saurian blood warm, her slippers which betrayed a kind of childlike innocence missed by most people. I can already tell that this moment is being burned into my memory. The way she sits there, given a halo by a ray of morning sunlight peeking through the clouds, momentarily illuminating dust hanging in the air above her like fragments of lost memories. Her claw idly sketches a scene from an imagination which I now knew was limitless in its capacity to reshape the world into a reflection of herself. The ray of sunlight has been receded behind the cloud, and the room returns to its uniform ambient glow from the lights above. I move my seat, painfully aware of each step bringing me closer to her. I want to say something, but I'm too nervous, and for once it's not because of any alarms. It's something in my chest that swells until it hurts. That's something I want to tell her. Hey, dork, how was PE? You okay? I'm beat. Solly made us do nothing but push-ups. My arms feel like lead. I'll feed you steak and potatoes when we get home tonight. I can't wait. She graces me with a delicate smile, and my body feels lighter than air. I realized that first period in that war zone of a gym somehow felt like a small eternity, and I had forgotten that we had walked to school together. Now I was reminded that she was more than just a classmate. She was coming home with me. What if instead Inko and Anon fall in love with each other? No. That's cursed. Also, do you think that Damien likes being... Okay, why are we getting weird here in the chat? Inko is currently doing the WikiHow photo shoot for How to Accept Your Death article. Oh. Alright. Actually, let me grab something to drink. My voice is getting dry. What time is it? 6:32. I'll try and go to 7. I mean, I'm not getting the hunger shakes or anything, but I feel like my voice is starting to give out, so I can't have that go. I'd eaten a quick lunch to duck out of the cafeteria early again to use the computer lab. Much as I hated leaving Olivia during one of our precious moments together, I had to finish an assignment I meant to complete during the weekend. And finished. At least now it won't be late. Oh, but what's starting is yawning. That's great. This time, Liz announces herself by clearing her throat. It still catches me a little off guard. I doubt I'll ever be completely used to her head hovering around. Sup, Liz? Not much. How has your arrangement with Olivia been going? It's been going great. She and I were having a blast yesterday just cooking and playing video games and then just talking. Even describing our activities felt euphoric. I can't help but smile when looking off into the distance, thinking about her. That's great. I'm glad to hear it. Something wrong? Well, it's just that I'm happy for you two. I really am. But I didn't help you guys for your sake. I did it for Damien. I mean, that's understandable. You and he are a couple after all. I'm not going to hold it against you if it was more for his sake than ours. We still both appreciate the favor. I know, but I feel bad because I almost refused to help Damien. Why? Look, I'm telling you this because we're friends, and I think you have the right to know how I feel. I just feel like you're both enabling Olivia. What were we supposed to do? Not give her what she wants. Liz, all she wants was some time to herself. If I said the shit I'd be put in the box. Maybe some people need to be modded. I don't know, muted. Yeah, maybe some people need to be muted. I don't know. People need to tone it down a bit in the chat before there's no chat. I'm not going to read chat for a bit. Unless you're blue, I'm not reading you. How about that? Liz, all she wanted was some time to herself. You mean after she threw a temper tantrum? Well, yeah, I'm not going to make excuses for her behavior. But you'll still give her what she wants. What was I supposed to do? Turn her away? Yes. I'm sorry, but I don't see how that would have helped. It would have forced her to deal with the consequences of her own actions. She had a point. Still, I got the sense that this was about more than just what Olivia ought to have had done. I could sense more of that pent-up resentment Liz seemed to harbor for Olivia. I will turn this chat around. I could turn the chat off. Is this about what Olivia said about you to Damien? So she really did say something about me. Oh, this part. Uh-oh. Big mouth again. I'm taking another drink. Fuck me, I'm retarded. This time I actually catch myself mumbling my thoughts. Damien didn't say anything? No, but I could just tell from how evasive he was being when we talked about it on the drive over to your place. He blew up at her. It sounded like he had every right to, because she had it coming for a long time. And he starts feeling bad about it, and it's like watching a vicious cycle on repeat. Yeah, there's more or less how she described it too, but she feels really, really bad about it. Feeling bad about something and taking steps to never do it again are two different things, ain't on. She's trying, though. She really is. She and Damien even had a good talk about it, and they've reached an understanding. And she doesn't blame him for blowing up on her for the things she said about you. Fuck me, I just had to keep bringing that up, didn't I? I was just as disappointed in Olivia for what she said. Look, I'm not going to ask what exactly she said, even though I'm sorely tempted to. I don't need to know. I'm just wondering how long her caretakers are going to continue indulging her. The Paynes are doing the best they can. Exactly, and she acts like an ungrateful brat. She's aware that she acts like that. What is she doing to actually fix that aside from continuing to feel bad about herself? We're working on it. Both of your sakes, I hope so, but I'm not holding my breath. For God's sakes. Liz, I get that you're pissed, and I'm not saying I blame you, but how is this supposed to help? It's just frustrating. Olivia wants to be treated the same as everyone else, or so she says, but she doesn't understand that equal respect also means equal responsibility. Maybe. That does seem to be a problem with our generation. Liz groans like I just told her the most vindicating thing she ever heard. I know, it is a problem with our generation. It's just not a problem I've ever had. And it feels like I'm not going to a school most days, but a glorified daycare. I grew up in a very strict, super religious household, but my parents loved me. They always told me I had to work hard for anything, and that respect wasn't given, it was earned. Some of my friends ask me why I'm not miserable with such super strict parents who expect me to be hardworking and ladylike. Those same friends always look miserable themselves because their real parents are social media. Their real parents are social media and the internet. Sometimes I feel like I was born in the wrong generation. That's how I feel sometimes. I mean, I know I use the internet a lot too, but my parents were also pretty strict. My dad is pressuring me to do something with my life. And that's why I'm not worried about you. Thanks, I'm flattered to hear you say that. Well, I mean, I worry a little, but you seem to have your future figured out. But Olivia, on the other hand, I know she feels robbed, but that's no reason for her to not still be grateful for what she has. You're talking about what Ben did to her back in the 9th grade year, right? Yes, I'm not going to pretend I know how that made her feel, or what that Ben did wasn't scummy. I just know a lot of people would have loved to have the opportunities that's opened up for her. Her self-sabotaging is just a slap in the face to everyone who tries to win those contests. Liz, why don't you just tell her all this yourself? She didn't want to hear it from Midekin of all people. Why would she want to hear it from me? Back home. As it turns out, my best subject on was one of the ones Olivia had trouble with. Her grades in science were currently not too good. And if I didn't want to see her spending her afternoons doing after-school study, I had to help her comprehend the intricacies of chemistry. She stares down at the periodic table in her textbook with frustration all over her face. This still doesn't make sense to me. Makes perfect sense to me. I'll have to trust you on that. Knowing you, you'd probably make something that'd blow up. Well, there actually was this one time last year when I caused a small explosion in the lab. I underestimated the reaction pure sodium would have when dropped in water. Okay, I know I suck at science, but I don't suck that much. Even I know salt doesn't explode when you put it in water. I said pure sodium, not salt. What's the difference? I sigh in exasperation. I feel like that's the 4th time that's been put in there. That word. I'm trying not to look at chat, but I keep peeking over, and I'm not going to address anything. Salt is a compound of sodium and chlorine. I thought you would at least know that. Okay, whatever. So why doesn't salt explode in water? Well, let's go to the periodic table. See all those elements on the far left? They're all highly unstable, whereas elements further to the right are more stable. All the unstable elements will naturally seek out and bond with other elements to achieve stability. The explosion is the result of that chemical reaction. As you can see, sodium, which is an alkali metal, is all the way on the left so far, so it's highly unstable. Chlorine is only one row from the far right side, so it's already very stable, though not completely, so it will still seek to make a chemical bond. Okay. I continue to explain by giving her a rundown of the elements and their properties. Every time she nods off and I have to snap my fingers. This is dumb. I'm an artist. Why would I even need to know this stuff? You're kidding, right? After seeing all those warnings on all those different chemicals you use for your paintings? Sure, whatever, but it's not like I need to know everything about them. I bet it could make you a better painter to at least know basic chemistry. Just think of it like this. You're becoming more acquainted with how and why your portraits look so beautiful at a molecular level. That sounds really, really dorky. Okay, fine, but you still need to pass science if you want to graduate and get a scholarship. She whines, and I can't help but find it cute. Fine. But please explain that to me again, but slower this time. Patiently, I run through each element again, starting with hydrogen, and explain everything I know off the top of my head, only having to consult the textbook a few times myself, but able to make more sense of it than she. Check. Okay. By the time our study session is over, she has a better understanding, but her brain is still fried. We both unwind by playing her favorite fighting game, Jurassic Mega Arcade Edition. Wednesday, laundry day. Uh-oh. We got custom background. The laundromat. I had a friend one time, actually, like... I wasn't there, but he had a recording of it. He actually, like, ridden one of the tubes for, like, a second. And then got out. It was kind of funny. I'm surprised they didn't... Well, they didn't get... Well, I don't think he got kicked out because he was friends with someone who owned the laundromat at the time. It was pretty funny. 3 days into the school week, Olivia and I had fallen into a rhythm. She'd wake up before me, since she always fell asleep first in her beanbag, and make us breakfast and wake me up. I had to admit that the breakfast of eggs, bacon, and toast did give me more energy for PE. Our shared period in AP Art felt more fun than before. What with her greeting me with that cherubic smile every time I walked in. Beat from another day with Solly. Then lunch was a far more lively experience than at the beginning of the year, what with her being more talkative rather than shut in. Even Liz, much to my relief, was engaging Olivia more. And at the end of the school day, we'd walk home we'd walk home back to my dump of an apartment. It still made me nervous to be walking around Skid Row with my dino roommate. But so far, we haven't met with anything but the occasional dirty looks from people on the street. Those damn race mixers. Today, we decided to do some laundry, or rather, I should say, Olivia decided for us. Well, she probably doesn't even have like a week's worth of clothes with her, huh? I keep my attention fixed on my own pile of clothes while Olivia manages hers. The last thing I want to be caught sneaking a peek at her unmentionables. Once our respective washing machines are set, I turn my attention back to her. Want to play Seekin 4? A gesture at the old arcade cabinet I always worried would be broken anytime I went to this laundromat. Sure, I guess. I never got into Seekin, though. Is that supposed to be a parody of Tekken? Afraid I'll beat you? Even if you do, I still have the higher win ratio on Jurassic. So let me win something for once. Come on, I'll even spot you a quarter. Okay then, dork, but go easy on me. I'm a noob at Seekin. We hop on over to the arcade cabinet that had to be older than both of us and pop in my quarters. The silent attract mode flashing game over goes black and the machine hums to life. Welcome to the King of Sacred Fish Tournament 4. I'll pick Nigel Wolf. He's the boxer, and the kick buttons make him sway to either side instead of throwing a kick. Yep, okay. Nice to know. That's pretty neat. What's a noob-friendly character? Pick Kaz. He's pretty OP in this game. See his combo here? I point to the short move list beneath the screen. Do that and the final hit is unblockable. What's his style? What's your style? Traditional karate. A fighter's chosen. The game takes us to the mall level. Tekken equals Iron Fist. Seekin equals Sacred Fist. Huh. I like Seekin 4 because of the interactive environments. This installment just had the certain feel the others don't. I hang back a bit while Olivia gets her bearings. I go easy on her, but still win. She puts in another quarter and puts up more of a fight in our next match, but I still claim another victory. She loses interest then. I can see why you like it, but 3D fighters never appealed to me as much as 2D fighters. Just as well, the modern Seekins focus too much on juggling and death combos and other gimmicks I don't like. I seat myself on the bench next to Olivia. That's the problem with 3D fighters as a whole. Once the novelty of realistic fighting and sidestepping wore off, they had no other directions to go in. Meanwhile, 2D fighters never stopped innovating, or in the case of Jurassic or King Fighter 3, attained perfection. I could see that. I just liked how it was the closest thing to playing a choreographed fight scene in martial art movies. I could see that appeal too, but if you want that, then you may as well play a game with a lot of QuickTime events. Oh come on, those are two different things. We start arguing back and forth about fighting games while our clothes are being washed. Then the topic exhausts itself and we sit in silence for a bit, and it's then that I work up the nerve to talk to her about something. Hey Olivia, listen, there's something I wanted to tell you. Is it about what Damien and me talked about in last year's art contest? No, it's not that. Okay. Thank you, Sebek, and I worked hard on it. I think I need some editing though. Some of these conversations drag on a bit. Okay, if we're editing more in the rehashing this, I'm probably just gonna steamroll through it to the new content. Because I'm being generous right now. Well, not right now, but back then, going through all of this to get to the new content. Oh. We had to do what was this? The third one with the newest content. We're probably going to be at part 13 if this is a pattern. It's going to be the longest running series. It's going to be even longer than Wani. Uh, because I did want to talk to you about that. I'm just not sure when. Believe me, I get it. You don't have to talk to me about it at all if you don't want. Alright. So what did you want to tell me? She's looking at me with expectancy in her eyes. I can imagine there are alarms in her head, too. I opened my mouth several times, unable to get it out. Come on, just say something, you awkward fuck. She's gonna get impatient and think you're a weirdo. I cleared my throat and decided to tell her something else. Listen, I was talking with Liz one day, my first week of school. Her face melts into one of pure disappointment. It matches how I feel towards myself on the inside. You blew it, you dumb fuck. What were you and her talking about? She told me about the winter formal and how you, had an embarrassing moment. Oh. I'm screaming at myself. She looked like she wanted to hear me say something, but instead I had to dredge up an unpleasant memory. Why are you bringing it up? I don't know. I thought maybe it wasn't fair for me to know that about you without you knowing. Sure, but I assumed you knew because people were talking about it, like Lunar and Kiara. I never asked them about it, though. I tried to tune out gossip as much as possible. So why was Liz talking about it to you? Well, do I want to tell her the photo Ben took? No, she's already agitated. I don't need to bring up fucking Ben. No doubt she's already thinking of that anyway. She just thought I should know. Why? I guess because she gets worried about you, like Damien. Well, she has a funny way of showing it. Forget it. I'm sorry I brought it up. I put my head down and bite my lip, conscious of the possibility I might be heard mumbling to myself again. Anon, I don't care if you know about that. Not any more than I care about everyone else. That everyone else knows. I guess I should have figured as much. I know you don't care for what other people think. That's all good. You can skip the old stuff next time. Unless there's like a CG I should see. It isn't that I don't care. I mean, I do, but I just gotten good at tuning it out. I've been getting better at that myself. It's just easier to keep your head down, ignore the stuff that bothers you, or things people say, and ride it out. Yep. I just didn't do that with Ben that time. What did he do? I don't know all the details. I just know something embarrassing happened. He asked me to give you a eulogy for Ideken. Oh wow. Do you know what Mia did to me? No, I never asked Damien or Liz. We don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. I kind of want to, though, and you're a good listener. Thanks. When you're not mumbling to yourself, that is. I had an arrangement worked out with her, let's just say, but I didn't want to be part of it anymore. So I tried to back up. Oh, it's where she was painting for Mia when she was held hostage. I remember that. So I tried to back out of it by going to Ideken, and then she snapped when I pushed her away and chased me into the handicap elevator. I was relieved when Mia got expelled. If there was a silver lining to that whole mess, it was that. I remember thinking it was almost worth it to be able to move around school without constantly worrying about her. Then Ideken didn't show up one day, and I didn't think much of it at the time. I mean, teachers get sick too, or have emergencies sometimes. Then later that week, Mr. Ferris started calling people to his office one by one. I recognized some of the names. They were everyone I know in art, and then I got scared. Then he called me in, and I remember everything before that, so... Vividly? Yeah, for once, I had a good lunch with Damien and Liz. I was in a good mood because Mia wasn't around to scare me, and we were making fun of her. Then Liz was like, come on, it's not nice to talk about people behind their back. And Damien said, who's talking about people? We're talking about Mia, and even Liz laughed. That was the last thing I thought of before going into Ferris's office. I could just tell it was going to be something really bad, and I almost didn't go in. But I did, and her face scrunches up as she relives the memory. I didn't cry at first, I just remember feeling like the world was going dark, like someone unplugged all the lights. She looks down into her lap. I wasn't going to see him anymore, and knowing that made me feel panicky, like I had to go somewhere, only I didn't know where to go. And that's when Ben showed up, and I remember thinking that I was glad to actually see him for once. Can you imagine that? I never had to go through losing a loved one, so no, I can't. I hope you never do. So Ben comes up to me. He didn't look sad, but I remember thinking, I'm not going to cry now either. He's just in shock like me. I can meant as much to him too. She rolls her eyes. God, I was so fucking stupid for thinking that. We're just in shock. I know I shouldn't have never given him the benefit of the doubt, but he started talking about putting on a eulogy for Eidekin at the winter formal, and I thought, he's right for once. Eidekin deserves it. Then Ben left when I agreed. He didn't even try to comfort me. That should have been my first sign not to go along with what he wanted. And then I don't want to talk about what I did next. But afterwards, Liz drove me and Damien back to our place. Randy made us hot chocolate, and I just sat there. I don't remember much after that. I fell asleep on the couch, and when I woke up the next morning, I went to my room and started binging anime. I didn't want to feel anything, I just wanted to zone out. That's how I was for the next few days. Then I remembered Ben's stupid eulogy, so I tried to write something for Eidekin, only nothing was coming to me. I was planning on not going after all. Then the day before, Damien gives me this pep talk. He said something like, she puts on her best Damien impression. I may have not known Eidekin personally, but I know he was a real bro to everyone in his classes. I know you wouldn't be where you are without him, so in a way, you're like one of his masterpieces. And something about that last line really just got to me, so I decided to go. With or without a eulogy. I haven't thought, screw it, I'll just make up something on the spot, as long as I speak from the heart. But when we got there, me, Damien, and Liz, I told Ben I didn't have anything prepared when he asked, so he shoved some papers with a pre-prepared speech and some notes into my hands. I lost my train of thought then. When it was my turn to give my eulogy, I just couldn't. I mean, I tried. I tried reading Ben's dumb speech and saying a few things on my own, but then I just broke down. Yeah. And then I don't want to talk about the formal anymore. I'm sorry it didn't work out. It doesn't matter. It's not like Ben was genuine with his intentions anyway. I still want to visit Eidekin's grave one day and pay my proper final respects. Hope I can be there with her when she does. I got sick then. I was bedridden, which is fine because that's all I wanted to do. Be in bed trying to numb myself of everything. Then he kept checking in on me. I think he worried I was dying or something. I didn't want him to feel sad, so when I was well enough, I started watching Power Raptors with him on the couch. I thought he didn't like shows. We were both giggling at Bulk and Skull. Those two are the shit. Easily the best part of the show. Yeah, I remember feeling happy for once, just all cozy on the couch with Vinny watching TV with him. I felt like a little kid myself again. I was also moody with everyone else, especially Damien. Then one day I heard Randy mutter to himself, "Oh, grow up." She looked down remorsefully. I hold her hand and give her a reassuring squeeze. Things are getting better, not just for you and Damien, but in general. It's just something you had to ride out, like you said. Thanks. By that rate, the laundry had to be done. So how do I become a mod? You're not. Not you. Jamie and I had to call in sick today, which meant lunch was just me, Olivia, and Liz. It felt a lot less lively without him around to fill the dead air with conversation. So Olivia and I fall back to our new favorite hobby, recording the Grugsons at each other's apropos of nothing. You know, did you just stick your head in the Shino Ballo? No. So how are you guys doing with schoolwork? I'm all caught up for the week, and I'm still at the top of my game in science. And Poindexter has helped me not suck at science. I'm glad to hear that. She's even helping me get good at art. My own portraits no longer look like I'm finger painting with boxing gloves. That's great. So can I both give you a ride back to your place later? Thanks, but no, we've grown to enjoy our walks to and from school. Watch, Mia's gonna pop up now. Alright then, but ask anytime you need one. Sure thing. With Thursday at school behind us, Olivia and I begin our trek back to Chesanon. The final week of school at St. Hammond had been one of the funniest times I could remember in a while. It made me sad to think it was coming to an end on Saturday. I realize we're past 7, but we'll go until the day ends. That was the day we agreed with Randy when she would go back to home to the Paynes. I found myself wishing we could continue being roommates for the rest of the school year. Oh boy, chat. I still haven't worked up the courage to ask Olivia if we were really just that or more than that. And I just wanted to ask, and just wanting to ask filled me with the fluttery kind of happiness. Yeah. I called it. I'm taking I don't even have water. I gotta go get water. I'll be back. Okay. Actually, let me adjust my pillow a bit more. Ugh. Because my fucking left ass cheek is just hurting. Okay, what? Chat. Calm down. Anyways. Yo, Hot Wheels. Oh. Fuck. I positioned myself between Olivia and the oncoming bellicose bitch. Sup, Skinny? How's your jaw? It's fine. How's your fist? Won't lie to you, you could take a punch pretty good. My hand actually hurt for a few days. At least I could say my caveman jaw could take a punch better than a snout. Now if I can only throw punches accurately enough to land one. So I noticed the frilled retard ain't around to watch your backs. Shit, I wish I thought of this before turning down a ride from Liz. Smatter, you got nothing to say? No. I turned to leave with Olivia. Mia circles around us. Again, I position myself in front of Olivia. Well, ain't you the chivalrous type? I was just trying to catch up with my good friend Livy. Olivia growls low behind me. You know, she and I go way back. And she never told me about how she used to do my AP art homework for me. No, it doesn't sound like any of my business. I'll consider it a matter of public concern then. Livy used to help me cheat. Not just me though, Lunar and Kiara too. Great, why do I care? Just thought you would like to know that your girlfriend's a dirty cheater, or maybe she already told you. Guess it's on a need-to-know basis. Well, then you need to know that that Crockett cunt here didn't think much more of skinnies than I do. She thinks so little of them, in fact, she'll just use them up and throw them away. Olivia stops growling. That's what she did to Inko. She fucked him over royally, hacked into his school account, and replaced his art contest submission with one of her own, and the dummy was none the wiser because he didn't think to check on her. I figured it out because, well, let's just say I'm pretty well acquainted with her style. Call it professional jealousy. And I knew no dummy skinny who could barely even point a camera lens could have made that. So I confronted her about it. So I confronted her about it one day, and let's just say we made a deal. A deal she tried to welch on. You forgot the part where I'm supposed to care about any of this. She scrutinizes me with those predatory eyes. You don't care, huh? No. Well, maybe you do, and maybe you don't, but I know she cares. I should have an idea for a post-E2 fic where Inko gets with Lunara. Probably won't do that for a while, though. That's gonna be interesting. Olivia's face is scrunched up in anguish. So, Livy, how relieved were you when your first skinny boyfriend decided to poison himself? Must have been awful convenient. Now nobody'll know, right? Bet you was even relieved. Her chest heaves as she struggles to contain her sobs. And I know why you did it. Boo-hoo, nobody takes me seriously because I'm a cripple. If only I could show my art to the world without nobody knowing it was me that made it. Well, congrats, Toots. Now you're sure of your abilities, except you're still stuck in that chair. So what does it matter in the end? People will always see that first. Kind of makes what you did for nothing. So do you still cry for Inko? I know I heard you do just that on more than one occasion, saying, "Forgive me, and please don't hate me." She continues to try and hold it in, and it's agony to see her like this. Endure it or push Olivia home. Oh boy. Just go. It's not worth enduring Mia's abuse. I can't fight her for Olivia, but I can at least guide her home. I take a hold of her chair. Yeah, that's right. Push baby home in her stroller. Don't forget to put her down for a nap. I hear lean is good for that. Mia doesn't try to follow us, but she doesn't stop taunting Olivia as I push her away. Fang wouldn't take any of this shit. Well, what is Olivia gonna do? Olivia has to get up off her chair, which she can't. It feels like rock bottom all over again. Mustering as much dignity as possible, I guide her to her humble little hovel, ignoring anyone who might have cared to gawk at a human pushing a sobbing dinosaur in her wheelchair. Her tears have subsided, but still her arms lack the will to push herself. It's a relief to be back home. Shabby and depressing as it sometimes was. The window casts a dull light, illuminating every depressing detail of the cracked and faded wallpaper. Only Guts is there to welcome us back with a ceremonious squeak from his cage. A triumphant fanfare fit for our miserable abode. Olivia still lacks the will to do or say anything. She can only sit there as though inexorably fused to her chair. I'm butchering words again. Being on beating Mia unlocks her route, by the way. Okay. Just play Wani Gemu. That's true. Everything Mia said is true. I hacked into Inko's account and replaced his entry with my own. I didn't think much of him, and that's why I didn't care. But I can vouch for him. Wanted us to be friends. And we were. He was just a lonely rich kid with workaholic parents who wanted friends. Some friend I turned out to be. She begins to sob again. I wanted to tell him. I wanted to tell him. And go, I'm sorry. Please don't hate me. Please don't hate me. Olivia and I wake up. Okay, so this is the next day, so I am going to probably wrap it up here. I'll probably let this music play, but I will save. Alright. I see Wani Gamu. Yeah, we got Wani Gamu up here. This ain't Wani Gamu. This ain't very Wani Gamu. Alright, sit up. Ugh. Alright, chat. We put on the ending screen. I'm not sure when I'm gonna get back to this. Latest would probably be Friday. I want to shoot for Thursday. And Wednesday's probably out of the question. Just because I gotta move. And it's gonna be stressful. And I'm gonna not want to, like, do stuff like this. When I have to get my shit together. Long ass well, it's only long because we had to start from the beginning again. It was suggested. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for being here. I wish chat was a little bit behaved better. That's why I kind of ignored most of you. I don't know. It doesn't cost anything to not be rabid. Tuesday. Tomorrow's Tuesday. I'm getting my sacrum coccyx, one of the bone, the tailbone injection tomorrow, and I'm hoping that it goes smoothly. I mean, it's the 4th time they did it, so I'm trauma dumping again, but 4th time they're gonna do it, and the last 3 were easygoing. I'm hoping this one is also easygoing, but I got a feeling if this keeps up, there's probably gonna be something that goes wrong, but literally knock on wood, none of that happens, you know? Not to be a spurg. Yeah, don't be a spurg, chat. Yeah, we don't need, like, we don't need Coda happening again. But yeah, once Tuesday rolls around, get that done. I want to do a little bit more packing up. So what I'm going to be doing first thing in the morning is probably taking down my second monitor here that I set up, taking down all my streaming equipment. So all this, the mic, the stream deck, that's going to be going. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I'm probably going to have another bag. Get all this moved and ready to go. Because I don't know how I'm going to feel after that injection. I might just be fucking straight off to bed, lay down, decompress. Because Wednesday, I'm going to, either Tuesday night or Wednesday, I'm going to have to haul ass and get the rest of the stuff unplugged. I got to get this computer unplugged, all sorted out. TV's got to get going. And then Wednesday, I just got to pray. I got to pray to God that this goes as smoothly as possible. Because I am stressing. Good stream, Armor. I will become a mod whether you like it or not. Yeah, who gives the modding power here? I do. You mean don't be like me? You can go be a gooner on other places. There's literally 1,000,001 places you can go and be yourself. All I ask is to be a little decent here, okay? Just the one place. And be British and horny at the same time. No. Let's be reasonable. That's all I ask, especially with things coming up nowadays or this week. I'm going to be stressed. So yeah, probably I guess the next stream we'll have down the road will probably be a decompressing stream. De-stress, chill. play some easygoing games. If you can beat the gorilla, you might become mod. I think I'm going to get different mods to monitor the chat. Anyways, I should probably stop yapping, save my breath for future streams, and go to bed. I'll see you guys later. If anything pops up, I'll probably post it either on YouTube or the Discord. Just keep your eyes open, I guess. And with that said, I will wish you all a good night.